Hi there, welcome back to another Crypto Dave video. It's Friday, which means another crypto interest rates and news update video. Today is the 26th of February 2021. And as always, we start by looking at any changes to interest rates, any new coins, and nothing really to announce on the new coins front, but I did do an update a few days ago. Substantial updates within the Celsius kind of network, particularly to the paid in sell column here. So a lot of coins remain the same if they were paid in kind, but have been reduced if you are choosing to be paid in sell tokens. So make sure you're aware of that. Make sure you keep up to date and abreast of this if you are using Celsius. They do change their rates fairly frequently. But nothing else dramatic to announce for now. There'll be some changes coming in the beginning of March, and we'll talk about those in a little bit later. But moving on to the token prices. So we've got I suppose, obviously, pretty poor week for Bitcoin all in all. We hit kind of 58,000, and we've had a big pullback. Went down to sort of like the 50, sub 50, and then yesterday, or overnight last night, another kind of pullback. Currently sat at about 46,500. So pretty much across the board, there's been a big kind of wiping out of kind of value across kind of cryptocurrency. The only sort of anomaly for that is crypto.com coin. We'll talk about this in a minute, but Celsius network down 15.6% over the week. Necto down 3.6. I think that's a pretty decent performance considering how much other coins are down. But crypto.com up 28.6%. But if you look at the graph here, you can see on the 22nd here we had a massive spike up. I think it was up over 100% at one stage. And that's because of our first story. We'll start talking about that now. I think people who are holding the token, who saw that massive spike up, are really kind of optimistic about that. It has given up, you know, a large proportion of those kind of gains. I think we were down at about 13 cents at the beginning of the week, and we're at 15.6 now. So it doesn't seem to be a 30% increase to me, but we'll see how things kind of play out in the next day. But a lot of those gains immediately given up, and it's had a little bit of a more optimistic kind of like second half of the week. So we'll see what happens with the mainnet when it actually launches. But moving on to the reason why that massive spike up in the middle of the week for CRO, and that's basically because it was announced that 70 billion CRO are to be burned. If we read through this article, it's the largest token burn in history. And an important step to fully decentralize the network at mainnet launch. So basically 70 billion CRO will be burned in total. 59.6 have already been burned. That was on the 22nd of February when they announced it. And then 10.4 billion will be locked in a smart contract, and they'll be burnt on a monthly basis. And basically what this means is that the circulating supply of CRO, which people have been so critical of, will increase from 24% currently to over 80%. And this was something they really needed to kind of do. Now, they've been portraying it as, you know, you can't put a price on decentralization, but I think they kind of like essentially realize that nobody is going to be using this kind of platform when they are holding 75% of the tokens in reserve. So getting rid of those kind of tokens, putting them out there. As you can see here, the remaining 5.9 billion CRO supply will be distributed as follows. So some of it will be basically allocated, so it'll be held back, and that will be going to chain validators and delegators, which will be securing the network. This is the mainnet when it goes live. And then we've got 0.9 billion will be allocated to Particle B for chain ecosystem development. So that's 100% altogether. So really good that they've done this. I think really it was something that they suddenly realized they had to do. You know, they couldn't hold, you know, a huge number of kind of tokens back and expect people to be utilizing the kind of platform, the mainnet platform, and they're really hoping that DeFi and various other bits and bobs will be transitioned onto the kind of platform due to low fees and stuff like that. In terms of the amount of traction it can get, I can see it being relatively small compared to kind of like other projects that are coming out. Polkadot, you've got Cardano, which will be launching smart contracts sometime in was it April, May, something like that. So yeah, interesting to see what will happen. They may get some kind of traction. I hope they do well, because it will really help out the people with CRO. And in particular, I think people that held MCO from the beginning were forced into that kind of conversion to CRO. So 70 billion CRO to be burnt in total. Almost 60 billion of those have been burnt already. But that's why there was that massive spike up in kind of price there, as people realised that the amount of kind of coins that they own, you know, the proportion that they own compared to the entire circulating supply, the value of those increased rapidly. But after that initial kind of pump, did really come down to sort of like relatively kind of like similar levels to where it's kind of been before. So we'll have to see what happens in the longer term. But moving on, a similar kind of story, staying with crypto.com certainly, is the Mainnet. So the Crosswind Mainnet dry run results. Now, we talked about this a few weeks ago. People that were participating in this kind of dry run of the kind of Mainnet could earn prizes and kind of rewards, and that's now concluded. The top 10 participants are listed here on this page, and if you scroll to the bottom of the page here and click here, you get a full summary of the event. We'll just click there for a sec, but I won't read through all of this now. If you are interested in this, you can read through this. It's got quite a lot of detail about the kind of event, exactly what happened and stuff like that. But everybody who has earned a prize or a reward from this participation, and there was 197 out of 220 participants that actually completed at least one of the tasks and received rewards, they will be getting an email notification from crypto.com. So congratulations to those who won. The kind of prizes, particularly up here near the top, 2,600 score there for Staking Thunder, Making Cash in second, and G181 in third. And then moving on to some other stories, we've got quite a lot of stuff from Nexo coming up in a sec. But firstly, just wanted to bring this update to you from BlockFi. So I noticed this earlier in the week. Now, we spoke a couple of months ago when BlockFi announced their Bitcoin Rewards credit card, and initially it seemed like a really good kind of card. So you got like 1.5% back in Bitcoin on all your transactions. So it's like a cashback, but the cashback being paid in Bitcoin. Then it transpired that there would be a yearly kind of cost for the card. I think it was $200, something like that. And a bit of the shine kind of came off it. And then Gemini announced that they would be launching a card. Various other providers will be launching Bitcoin reward kind of credit cards. So they've had to, I think, basically respond to that by giving some additional bonuses. So there's 4 new bonuses have been announced. In terms of the Bitcoin credit card, if you go to the BlockFi site now, you can sign up to the waiting list even if you don't have a BlockFi account. So previously you had to have a BlockFi account to sign up for the notification list, but you can now sign up regardless of whether you have a BlockFi account or not. But basically there's going to be 4 new rewards. Now, the interesting one, I think, is this first one, which is Bitcoin Rewards Rate Bonus. So after you've had the card for 3 months, you will start earning 3.5% back in Bitcoin on every purchase for the following 3 months. So you hold it for the first 3 months, and then for the next 3 months, so months 3 to 6, you'll get 3.5% back in Bitcoin with a payout of up to $100 in Bitcoin in the 7th month. So basically, you'll earn more Bitcoin, even more Bitcoin, with all your purchases for that second quarter. Now, the other bonuses may or may not be interesting. They'll only really be interesting to you, I think, if you have a BlockFi kind of account and if you're utilizing the ecosystem quite a lot. So the second one is a bonus on the stable coin. So if you're holding Gemini USD, Pax, or USDC in one of the BlockFi interest accounts, you'll earn up to an extra 2% APY on top of the existing rate. Now that sounds really good, but that only brings sort of 8.6% up to 10.6, and you can get better rates with other providers at the moment. So it's the one thing that BlockFi I don't think are great at is their interest on stablecoins. Nice if you hold Gemini USD, but aside from that, you can generally get better rates elsewhere, even including this 2% bonus. There will be a trading bonus, so you'll earn 0.25 of your trading volume back in Bitcoin up to $500 a month. And then finally, refer a friend. Now, if you refer someone to the platform now, somewhere in the description below will be a link to sign up to BlockFi if you're interested in it. Now, if you sign up to that, you will get, I think, $10, and I'll get $10 if you deposit $100 into an interest account. Now, if you refer other people, then you'll get a bonus on that. So you can earn $40 in Bitcoin for each of your first 4 referrals, and then $50 in Bitcoin for each referral after. Now that's, I believe, in addition, including the existing one. So you can earn an additional $30. So if you're referring quite a few people at the moment, you'll be getting $20, I think, for each referral, but that can go up to $50. So a very small amount of people this will kind of like be relevant to, probably with the trading bonus. The stablecoin bonus might be interesting if you want to stay within one ecosystem. And BlockFi is a decent platform. I do like it, but I think the big news is this additional percentage back in the second quarter, so not the first quarter, in months 4 to 6. So interesting that if you've signed up on this list, I've actually signed up. I signed up a while ago. I'm waiting on this list, but I'm in the UK, so I'm not going to be one of the first people getting it. So it'll be interesting to know see how popular this is once it kind of comes out. There seems to be quite a few people on the list at this point. And then moving on to the Nexo stuff. So there's lots of stuff we need to cover with Nexo this week. Firstly, obviously a big spike downwards in price, big sell-off in Bitcoin and Ethereum in the middle of the week. And the upshot of that was that a load of people were liquidated. So people that had crypto-backed loans with Nexo, a load of them were liquidated. And I think this seems to stem from the fact that they get their pricing from Kraken. It only seems to come from Kraken. They're not using an Oracle or anything like that. And Kraken had a flash crash in the price of Ethereum. I think it went down to about $800, something like that, at one point, which meant that a huge number of people with crypto-backed loans, not only Ethereum-backed loans, I think pretty much everybody with Ethereum-backed loans got liquidated, but also people with BTC loans and other stuff that was going to rely on this. So there was an absolute mess going on. This isn't the first time this happened to Nexo, and it would be one of the reasons why I wouldn't recommend Nexo as a crypto-backed loan provider, because whenever there's a flash crash, they seem to be subjected to these liquidations. Now, they have come out and said that your funds are safe, that incorrect Ethereum liquidations will be reversed. And then there was a clarification to say a small number of other balances besides ETH are also affected and will be reversed as well. So we'll have to see once this is completed whether everybody gets the kind of money back, everybody gets everything back that they are expecting. But yeah, it can be really worrying. You wake up in the morning, suddenly your crypto-backed loan has been liquidated, your Ethereum has been kind of sold off to pay that kind of loan, and a very stressful time for everybody involved until you actually see those funds returned. And this is not the first time it's happened to Nexo. Nexo seems to be the worst of the large providers at these kind of liquidation events, certainly compared to BlockFi, Celsius, and Ledn. So if you have been liquidated, get in touch with them. They should be reversing all those incorrect Ethereum liquidations and the other coins as well. And then moving on from that, they've just announced that they're going to be doing a monthly AMA. So very timely. It's currently 2 p.m. in the UK. Now this is going live at 3 p.m. So depending when you catch this video, it may already have happened. But if you follow the link, you'll be able to get the replay of it. And basically, they're going to do a monthly live AMA with Anthony from Nexo. So no doubt there will be a lot of questions about these liquidations and stuff like that. But I think sort of like copying what Celsius have been doing on a weekly basis for quite some time now. And Crypto.com has started doing some AMAs as well and stuff like that. So there will be a monthly Nexo AMA going forward. So if you watch this pretty promptly when it gets uploaded, and I'll upload it in the next half hour, you might be able to jump on this live. And then finally, another story from Nexo. They're temporarily raising their USDC and USDT borrowing minimums and limiting free crypto withdrawals. So this is a bit disappointed to see, but I think I think fair enough really with the state of the Ethereum blockchain and the fees at the moment. So basically, they're going to be raising the minimum borrowing amount, so that's going to be increased to $5,000 for withdrawals in USDT and USDC. If you want to borrow fiat, actual kind of fiat, they remain at $500, so they're not being increased. But there will be fees for withdrawals, so there'll be no withdrawals, free withdrawals at the moment. So this was something moving on from last week. So one of the reasons I really liked Nexo in the past was that there were free crypto withdrawal deposits, and there were never any fees for that. Now, obviously, with the increases in Ethereum fees, that wasn't feasible to hold. So they basically are allowing a certain number depending on which tier you hold on their kind of platform. But that's actually been scrapped for now as well. In a few weeks, gold and platinum loyalty tiers only will be receiving 1 and 3 free crypto withdrawals monthly, while the base and the silver tier users will not be eligible. So you'll be paying withdrawal fees until basically the Ethereum network gets back to normal. So a little bit disappointing that following on from an announcement last week, they've had to make yet another announcement changing the kind of particularly the withdrawals. The minimums, I think the borrowing stuff is absolutely fine, but they've made a change last week. Now they're making another change this week, and it's basically if you are a silver or base kind of tier user, you won't be able to do any kind of withdrawals without paying sizable fees at the moment. And then very lastly, I don't have a link to this article, but I got an email about this from Ledn. Their rates will be changing the 1st of March. So they are now, they announced at the beginning of the year that they'll be doing a monthly kind of update of rates. The Bitcoin rate will be changing from 6.1 down to 6%, and the USDC rate will be changing from 12.25 up to 12.5. So 0.25% increase there, 0.1% decrease with BTC there. So that will bring it in line with BlockFi, but obviously no tiers. So if you have more than 2.5 Bitcoin, you will be benefiting from holding some of that on Ledn as opposed to BlockFi, where the rate drops to 3%. That's it for this week. Thanks very much for watching. As always, if you give me a thumbs up, that would be fantastic. If you have questions, let me know in the comments below. It's always nice to hear from you. Hopefully I'll see you on the next video. Have a great weekend. But until then, have a great day. Bye-bye.